Alright, might do just a quick check to check how we're tracking in terms of vocals. Testing 1, 2, 3. If you want, you can have a look back at the live stream on your own device if you want to check the vocal levels.
Yeah, give me 2 seconds. I've got the live stream up. Give me some YouTube. Yeah, I don't know if that's me or not, but I don't hear anything.
There's no vocals?
There's no sound.
No sound. Let me have a quick check myself. No, we got vocals. They've coming through. We've got
Can you hear me? Fine.
We will check. We are
I'm
checking.
sorry, I don't know why I got no sound through my stream. Must be something to do with...
Yep, we are good to go. You are live, I am live. Welcome everyone, we've got 7 people in the stream. Thank you all for coming. Sorry, we're just working through some technical difficulties. The joys of doing an impromptu live stream at the last minute over at Apex Point Racing League. So thank you all for joining this evening. My name's Snoopy, and in the comms box with me tonight we actually have Mr. Rooted Junk. Funny name, but I wasn't sure if you wanted us to refer to you as that or anything else tonight, but say hi.
Thank you very much for having me on board tonight, and I'm very excited to kick off my commentary seasons with this tonight, and see how we go, and hopefully give a bit of excitement to the watchers while they're watching an exciting race tonight.
That's exactly right, and would appreciate if anyone in the chat could let us know how the audio levels are, if they need more of the comms from either sides turned up, or if they want the race noises turned up a bit further. Just let us know and we can adjust accordingly. That's not a suggestion, that's a threat. Please tell us, because I can't hear. But we're here at Misano tonight for thank you Badge for saying that we're all good. Josh as well. Brenda says, what a great lead into Valentine's Day with a wet one. Felt like I should call that one out. We're here tonight running the ACC GT3 Series, which is our Thursday night series over here at Apex Point Racing League. Tonight we're at Misano for round 4 of the championship. We've got 15 drivers on the track. I know it says 16 in the top left hand corner, but we actually have 15. I'm taking up a spot as commentator here, but I'm not actually on the track, and we are currently about to start qualifying with Mr. Raz in the red Ferrari leading the charge with his first flying lap.
Now, before the race, he was explaining about his setup. He reckons he's got it pretty on tune and could be battling top to mid pack. So it'd be interesting to see what he does with his qualifying lap here and where he ends up within the pack to start the race.
Yeah, exactly right. We were talking to a couple of the drivers in the briefing earlier on about ideal lap times, what they're sort of looking for, and obviously we've got different sort of skill levels in this series. We've got a development series category, which are more for your new drivers to ACC that are learning and developing their skills. And then we also have our Pro Series, which are more of your seasoned veterans. So there will be a little bit of discrepancy in terms of the qualifying lap times there. Expecting around the 1 minute 37, 38 for some of the Pro drivers, whereas the Development Series drivers, we're looking around the 140, 141 mark.
I do think though for qualifying lap that those laps are good, but I think the whole pack is just with the conditions for the race. I think it's anybody's game. Being that the laps of the race are going to be a lot slower, people are going to have different strategies, different setups. I just think it's not going to be as spread out as one would think with the amount of skill. I think the weather and the way it is, I think that's just going to bring that kind of skill level, bring it down a bit, so it's a lot closer than people would think.
Yeah, and
Do you find that? Is that what you would find as well?
yeah, I think it's interesting whenever a variable like weather is thrown into the mix, because it really sort of evens the playing field across the board. You know, in dry conditions, everyone can sort of work to their optimal, you know, strengths in terms of pace and everything like that. But as soon as you bring a bit of weather into the mix, you know, some drivers really excel in those conditions. So I wouldn't be surprised tonight to see one of the development series or development category drivers mixing it with one of the pro drivers.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how this race turns out.
Yeah, exactly.
And the qualifying, the qualifying is going to be very interesting to see where people land, especially with the wet and how, you know, if they take a little bit more risks in the qualifying to try and get there, and we'll see if the reward, you know, outweighs the risk.
Absolutely. I saw a question.
I'll be taking it easy. Sorry to
Oh, here we go. Snuck in there. Hey, Ting.
Snuck in. I'm just going out on my first lap.
Very good. Good luck to you. Good luck to you.
Yep. I hope I go all right.
We got
There's no one behind me, so I won't hold anyone up.
Yep, that's the way. Saw
the first corner has a big dry line
already,
so it's kind of easy, but not easy. Far from it. It's going to be tricky, very tricky.
Challenging conditions tonight.
Yeah, the tricky part is how much water you get on the tyres, how much water you run through, whether you hit a big patch of water, and how far it cools the tyres down. That's the tricky part for me. Keeping the tyre temperature is really hard, and everyone's going to be in the same boat.
Yeah,
so you've 100%. Got to keep on it, and on the brakes, and on the corners to keep your temps up. As soon as you drop speed, you're in trouble.
We've got a few drivers making their way around the track at the moment. Almost everyone except for car number 40 is out on the track running through their laps. We'll go through the qualifying times towards the end of the session here, but for the purposes of like where we are now, we may just hang on board with car 944, which is Ting, who's currently in the comms box with us up until the race, as he heads down the main straight to start his flying lap, or finish his flying lap. I'm not too sure. We'll see how he goes. Might just swap to on board camera type. Hey Daywalker, I saw a query earlier from I think it was James Dean. If I got your name wrong, I apologise. You were discussing or asking the question about whether the development series is for Gran Turismo 7 as well as ACC. The answer to that question is yes, it is. We run a development series in Gran Turismo, and we have a development series category in ACC as well. Similar, same thing goes for the Pro Series as well. We have a Pro Driver category and a Pro Series for Gran Turismo 7. And in terms of live streaming those, we're doing it on a bit of a split basis over the course of this season. So in answer to your question, yes, there are live streams of all different categories. This ACC one was more of an impromptu decision tonight, also for the reason of me not actually having to get in the car and drive. But there's definitely plans in the future to stream all the different seasons and all the different series accordingly, so make sure you just subscribe to our YouTube channel.
As you see there, it looked like a little bit of aquaplaning there at the start there. He was not pulling up as quick as I think he wanted to there.
Yeah, it's really tricky. That corner, that fast right-hander is tricky in a dry line, let alone a wet line. This Ting gets a little bit squirrely there, holds it together nicely.
Very nice recovery there by Ting, but that will cost him a bit of time on that qualifying lap.
It was invalidated.
Yep. Go again for the next time around, and as we jump on board with car number 18, M. Rowe, he's potential contender here for outright victory. Been a very strong driver across all the other rounds so far to date, and something with this McLaren in the wet is just really working for him, and some of the drivers that are close behind him in terms of championship points have actually tipped him to walk away on top for this race today.
It's something about it. It's just something about a driver that just meshes well with the car that they've picked, and he sounds like a driver that's picked very well with what kind of car he wants for the season, and he's using it to its full capabilities, and it's coming up trumps for him. Obviously in the championship, and when he's getting the approval from the other drivers, as a pick, that really says something as a driver, and what kind of driver you are.
Yeah, exactly right. You could just see as we ride on behind him in the third person view, just having that confidence to go into those really fast corners and not be afraid of the wet curbs or the puddles on the entry or the exit is a skill that comes with a lot of practice and a lot of time in a game like this, and it's almost treating it like a dry track in a way, but obviously manipulating his driving style to make sure that he's getting the most out of the wet conditions. And I think they were saying tonight, Rooted, it's interesting that despite the wet weather conditions, the optimal tyre tonight is actually a slick tyre.
Yeah, and like I said, it comes back to that risk and reward kind of thing. He's going out there. He's obviously trying to get the fastest lap, as everyone is. But the way we're watching him drive, he's almost treating it, like you said, as a dry track. He's obviously trying to get as far up in there, and then try and maybe depends on what way his strategy is, but he may look at doing that for the first couple of laps to with that risk of treating it as a dry track first couple of laps to get a bit of a lead out, knowing that it is going to be very slippery, and he's hoping that the pack, if he does get up there in the qualifying, the pack will kind of condense itself and slow each other down, and he can take a bit of a lead out and get some fresh air.
I think you definitely want to be on the front row tonight, or at least within the first 5 or 6 cars to sort of get away cleanly. And sorry to cut you off there while you were chatting, but we actually have had a disqualification come through for car number 79, who I think has already left the lobby. I saw the note pop up very quickly for driving in the wrong direction, so obviously something had happened there that the marshals and the stewards didn't like, so immediate disqualification. And it's not a disqualification from the session, it's a disqualification from the entire round. So we won't be seeing that driver tonight, but if it's one less driver on the track, it's probably music to the ears of the rest of the drivers around here. Hey Womble, thanks for joining us. Thanks for everyone that's joining in very last minute on a Thursday night. We really do appreciate it. Got about 3 minutes left of qualifying. We may just quickly have a look at who is sitting in first at the moment for qualifying. It's car number 21 in the Gran Turismo inspired Nissan GTR. So Samuel running in P1 at the moment, but car number 18 M Rowe won't be too far behind, I reckon. He was on for a really good lap earlier. If we can jump to him wherever he is on the track. Sorry guys, there's no method to the madness of how ACC allows us to jump to different drivers, but he was on for a hot lap earlier, but unfortunately ran wide in one of the corners right at the end there, so had the lap time invalidated, but heading in second at the moment. A couple of cars in the pits, maybe calling it a day so far. And then in third place we have Defunk, car 707 in the Ferrari. Looks like he's getting his setup ready for the race. He's happy with the time that he's put through, as I'm proven wrong as he drives out of the pits. But yeah, I think obviously everyone knows where they're sort of sitting in terms of their overall pace and what other drivers they should be buddied up with. So some people may just be happy to start where they currently are and start to reap the rewards in the race when the time comes. Got a car off. Yellow flag.
It's Crawley, number 26. I wonder what's happened there. Is he just ran a bit wide, or has he lost it? And
jumped in the pits there.
Gone into the sand trap in there, and that's unfortunate. With only limited time left on the clock, it's really going to push him back a bit there, and hopefully no significant damage.
Fun fact with ACC, the number next to their name does not indicate the car number. As you can see, Crawley just changed from 26 to 25. It's actually their ping number. The
91. Then,
91. That's the car there.
Excuse me, still getting used to ACC.
I mean, what are we paying you for? Honestly, you can't get car numbers, right?
Well, you're not paying me, so that's probably the reason.
All right, we.
I like the look of that car. It's
yeah, it's good, eh?
It looks mean.
It's the only Bentley that we have on the grid tonight, as we actually see another car go off down the back here, 707. If I can jump to him or them, the game won't let me, which is nice. Don't want to give the viewers a seizure, but yeah, the Bentley is a nice car. Wondering how many people will be able to get a lap through at the end here. Looks like Tex is done. As he pulls off to the side there.
I am looking and seeing a lot of McLarens on the grid tonight. It looks like the car of choice for most drivers.
It has been a popular car choice for a few rounds in a few series. Very stable. I think the McLaren and the Ferrari have been the most popular choices in terms of cars, but not too many Ferraris as I would have expected this time around. But yeah, two very popular manufacturers, and one of the least popular manufacturers is actually the Bentley, which is why you only see one on the grid tonight. Might jump on board here with Sam in car number 21. He's sitting in P1 and he's got 6/10 on his current best lap. So this could be potentially a 136 if he holds it together. I'm very good at commentator's curse, so we'll see how this ends. Unless ACC is doing the whole stint thing where it only shows your delta based on your current stint, which is very likely the chance, but lost a little bit of time there in that last sector, but it's climbing back up here. He may get close to a 136. 136.9.
Just snuck inside under the 137. Well done.
Didn't need to do it, but did it anyways. Very, very nicely done.
That is fast.
That is very quick. Might just check out the timetables very quickly while we've still got them here. So, starting P1, we have car number 21 with that 136.96, and almost a whole second behind them was car number 18, the gentleman, Mr. Rowe, who was tipped to actually be quite competitive tonight. Admittedly, it is qualifying. It's a long race, 45 minutes, so we'll see how that goes. And then in 5 thousandths of a second behind him, in third place, is Defunk, car 707. And then we obviously have the rest of the drivers falling through there. So notable mentions to Razmaz, P5. That's an exceptional result for him, one of our development series drivers. Tex as well, putting him right smack bang in the middle of P7. Well done. Morgs, Sideshow, Ting, Sayers, 27 Racing, Pete, the Bentley of Reed, and then also we've got Ace of Raf in P4, who's a very quick driver. Don't count him out for causing some problems heading into the first lap tonight.
Just looking at that pack, the 7, 8, 9 and 10 is going to be very interesting to watch from the start of that race.
Yes.
A lot of them know each other and how they race, and it's going to be a very interesting back battle there from Tex, Morgs, Sideshow and Ting. It's going to be one to watch.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So Ting, you managed a correct me if I'm wrong, high 141? Is that what we saw? No, it must have been a low 142 if my math serves me correctly. I'm not sure if you're still here with us or if you've jumped to a different party.
Sorry, it was on mute, sorry.
Oh, you're right, mate.
I think it was a 42.5 maybe?
42.5.
Had a shocker.
Had some difficulties with the conditions or traffic, like what was the...
I kind of got out of it late, and then I sort of felt rushed and wrecked it.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I did get a 41 something today. I was pretty happy with that. So. But that's okay.
And just a very disappointed for Formosa with the disqualification. So
yeah, that's not good.
It's to end your night there in qualification and knowing how much these boys put in during the week to practice, set up their cars, find the right tune, Airing, that's just that's a bit heartbreaking for that to happen.
Yeah, sometimes the game is just a little bit unfair in terms of like when it hands out a disqualification. I remember car number 40, M. Reed, had an unfair disqualification at Suzuka when they were actually in a really good position. I think it was top 3 even. 2-hour enduro at Suzuka. It was wet, it was dark, the conditions were tough. He was performing really well, and his wheel just disconnected ever so briefly, and what that did was push his car into a wall, turn him around, and started heading in the wrong direction. And by the time he got the wheel back on, calibrated everything, the game had ruled him as a disqualification. That was it, race over. He was over an hour into the race at that point. So yeah, we may need to check whether that was user error tonight for car number 79 with the disqualification, or whether there was some malice at play. I doubt that, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happened to that car there. Alright, so we've got about 6.5 minutes. Hey Harsha, hello everyone that's joining in for the start of the race. We've got 6 minutes until we start. We might actually have a quick look here at the starting grid and talk a little bit about the balance of performance that we have applied tonight. So we do run LFM balance of performance so that it's relatively consistent with, I guess, what would be considered the most common standard in ACC. The first thing I want to draw everyone's attention to is the Bentley has a minus 40 kilo balance of performance adjustment, which I think is the biggest diet I've ever seen given to a car. And the heaviest car here we actually have tonight is the BMW M4 car number 91, who's put on 13 kilos for tonight. So a bit of variety across the board.
That's how much does the weight, like coming from obviously GT7 and with the ACC, so I'm still quite learning the weight factor. How much does that come into it? Do you think, compared to how their setups would differ to the rest of the lighter cars?
Well, I know Ting is very familiar with his McLaren when we were running it in a earlier season where there was no balance of performance applied, and then when the balance of performance applied, he felt a bit of a difference in the car. Wasn't that right, Ting?
Yeah, there was a bit of a difference. You could notice it. I'm not going to say there was one point I noticed it more. It's just like an overall thing. Maybe it was like going around corners, you find you run a little bit wider, your braking points got a bit longer, just things like that. It was just a little bit of weight, but you could notice it a little. But I've kind of got used to it now, so it's not too bad now.
Yep. If you don't mind, Snoopy, I've got something to keep the viewers engaged and with us while we wait for the race and everything. I've got some questions for the viewers, and the person who gets the answer first, I'll be sending them a $50 gift voucher for PlayStation. So be ready for the question.
Can I answer?
No, you can't. So $50 PlayStation gift card is up for grabs for the first person who can answer my question, and I'll do this during the live streams we do, and it'll be different prizes and everything. But tonight it's $50 gift voucher, and the question is, and it's all going to be a racing questions. The question is, what does a barge board do? First person to give me the answer for that, and the question is, what does a barge board do? Put your answer in the chat, and first person that gives me the correct answer, you'll get a $50 PlayStation gift card.
As everyone frantically scrambles for their mobiles and pulls up Gemini or asks GPT, hey, what is a barge board? So we've got no responses just yet. I'm keeping a close eye on that, but that's incredibly generous of you, Rooted. Thank you very much for your contributions and obviously helping out tonight as well. But yeah, well, it seems to have stumped a lot of the viewers because no responses have come through just yet. So I will be very keenly watching Oh, we've got a response from Fast Ev Racing, so Race for Life. He says show position time and delta.
And that would be wrong.
Ooh. It's still wide open for everyone. Still wide open. I would not have been able to answer that confidently either without some help of Wikipedia or Google.
We know you answered fast, Ev. It was just the wrong. It was just the wrong answer.
Have you
But
got
thank
the?
you very much for playing.
You got the. Is it one answer per person?
Well, yeah, we'll go with that. You get one answer, and if most people will get it wrong. Miru, I can't say that. Miru must die. Miru, you are correct. You are correct. A barge board helps smooth airflow around the car.
As Badger
Well
comes
done.
through. And then if Mural, if you're not in our server already, apologies, I can't match YouTube usernames to PlayStation usernames, so sorry for that. But oh, I learned aerodynamics.
No,
Oh.
there you go.
There
Done.
you go. Oh, King Mural, that's right. There you go. P4. Hey, but you're engineering degree, aren't you, or mathematics or something like that? Regardless, you seem to be our lucky victor tonight. So I guess
Down. If you hit me or Snoopy up in the Discord, we'll organise that and get it over to you as soon as possible.
Oh geez, aerospace engineering. Okay, that's some serious business. Hey Morgs, thanks for joining. Race for Life, thanks for joining. We are 1 minute away from a very packed and wet Misano circuit. We'll just quickly cover off again the qualifying results so you can see that there for everyone in terms of where they finished and who has gotten lucky with the balance of performance.
Yes. So in position 1 we got Atherton with a fast lap of a 1:36. We knew it was going to be sub 40 on this in the qualifying. We got M. Rowe sitting at a 1:37 in second position with a D Funk at third. He came in with a 1:37.952. Fourth is Asaraf. I apologise if I said that wrong, at a 1:38. And then in fifth we have Maz, but as we count down to the session start with 10 seconds left, let's see how this unfolds.
Gonna pick a car.
I'd say mid-pack, maybe
Yeah.
10s, yeah, that one Morgs with that pack that I was explaining earlier. We'll see how that unfolds with the
Let's have a
first
look
corner.
here. We'll jump on board with maybe we'll jump on board with the M4 Crawley.
Funk didn't get away fast there, and Raz had to pull up to avoid him there, and it looks like what
Route it
I'm looking
over
at
to
looks
you to
like-
call the first opening lap, so I'll let you take the lead here, mate. Off you go.
Yeah, here we go. We're on board with Crawley at the moment. As you see, they've started. Let's see how this first lap goes, and hopefully everyone gets through very quickly. You can't win the race in the first lap, but you can definitely lose it. Looks like nice and smooth through there, Crawley. And as you see, Maz on the side trying to get past him there, and Crawley kind of closed that good, but gives him room on the inside. Looks like Atherton and Rowe at the front are already fighting for that position. And Raz makes a beautiful pass there and comes in. Oh, big
Bit of
crash
contact.
there. Crawley got contact on the thing. I don't know who that was that hit Crawley. Was it Tex or something? But that was that could have been devastating for the start of the race. And we see Reed. Reed goes off. Hopefully Reed gangs it there and hasn't hit anybody else and knocked them out as everyone lines up and gets in. Hectic start in the rain there with this, and being the damage, it can really stuff people's races up the first lap.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think everyone's done, mostly a good job to sort of get through. You can see how the pack is nicely sort of like keeping together there, but car 21, Sam, has just ignored, thrown all caution to the wind here, and he is well on his way. He's got a 2.5 second gap to P2. And actually jumping up from the starting position of P4 with car number 126, so they started 4th and I've jumped into P2 there.
This is a really good. He's got a bit of fresh air. He doesn't have anybody up his backside pressuring him at the moment, and he could. If he stays like this, and who is in second? Is it Rowe at the moment in second place?
No, it's our Singaporean friend, your $50 gift card winner.
Oh, well done, well done. As we're on board with Maz, as you can see, he's trying to catch up there, close that gap. That's a nice livery for that car. Oh,
runs a bit
he's
wide.
Taking it too early. Rowe tries to take it, and he's
gonna get the under here.
He's gonna get in. He's got him side by side, and he's got him. That was a bit hectic, but that was a nice piece of driving for both of us to keep away from each other. That was well done.
So car 18 M Rowe must have had a bit of it as he runs wide actually, and lets Raz back through. So he's having a bit of a challenging start to this race. I believe, as he gets a bit squirrely there as well. He was starting, I believe it was second on the grid, sitting in P5 at the moment behind Raz. Raz must be loving the limelight here because being one of our development drivers, sitting in front of a Pro Series driver ain't too bad a feat here. It's whether he can keep that there for the whole 42 minutes.
It looks like it's going to be one hell of a battle to keep Rowe, behind him.
With our leader! That's our leader! Again. That was car 21, that was the GTR that was in P1. Oh no!
We're only on the first lap, boys, and I'm already got heart palpitations.
And Ting's right behind him as well.
Oh, Ting's that kind of driver who will just frustrate whoever's in front of him, and whoever's behind him. He makes his car so wide. It frustrates whoever's in front of him, and because he doesn't go away. The only downfall for Ting is if he can concentrate and not make a mistake, he will frustrate a lot of drivers tonight.
We might check in. We might check in with him once he settles in. He's currently sitting with us with a live feed into the comms box. We'll check in with him about midway through the race. But S. Atherton, as he goes wide again, you've got to be careful tonight here as well because there are track limit penalties. So in ACC, you're given almost like a warning system. So you get track cut warnings if you go off the track and gain an advantage. So you get 3 warnings, and on your 4th warning, if you get a 4th and final warning, you actually get a drive, I don't know if it's a drive-through or a stop-go penalty, but you have to effectively go into the pits there. But Atherton will be probably a little
Crawley's taken Maz here, so Maz has fallen off Rowe. Rowe's gone ahead of him. Crawley's taken advantage and taken over Maz there. The thing with that, that ripple strip is going to cause a lot of people some harm tonight going over that. It looks like it just throws the car around. But back to what I was going to say about Atherton, being that he was so far ahead and so had daylight pretty much in front of him, almost 2 seconds, then making that mistake. His mindset now is I've got to catch up, and that can be detrimental to him because then he's got to go. I've got to go faster. I've got to get that position back, and that that's where mistakes come in, and that can cost him. He's just got to reset his brain. He's got to reset his himself and go, right, I've made the mistake. Let's just drive to my capability and get it done. And no something.
Oh, we've had a driver go off car 26 actually.
Oh, Maz didn't really give.
It was our leader. Hold on. This is all happening. So if the leaderboard is correct in front of me, M. Rowe, who was battling with Raz a few laps ago, has now leapfrogged cars number 126 and car, I believe it was 707, and is now leading the race. So M. Rowe, who we talked at the start, who was going to be...
It was his driver's dark horse.
The driver's dark horse, yeah.
The driver's dark horse.
Had a bit of a shocker of a start, got dropped down to P5. Is now somehow in front of. And look at the group behind him.
He's putting some space in there between that pack behind him.
Mind you, he was coming into this corner 1 lap ago, like almost sideways on the ripple strip in I think it was P4 or P3, and now he's sitting at the front of the race.
I do believe he's driving it like he stole it.
Yep, and I tell you what, what a difference a lap makes, because Atherton, who was, looking pretty dire back there, was in the lead of the race and had a spin and had dropped to the back there, is now sitting peachy in P4.
But again, Snoopy, it's only 4 laps in a long race, and we've seen what's happened in just 4 laps. We've got a long race ahead of us. Anything can happen. So
7.5 minutes in, and we've had probably so many chops and changes to the field. This is going to be a good one to keep it all the way to the finish to see how that goes. Might just jump on with a couple of the random drivers here. So we got car number 79 sitting at the back of the pack in the McLaren. Mr. or Mrs. Formosa running in the McLaren.
They got the disqualification, if I'm correct, or am I not getting that right?
No, I believe that's correct. So maybe it's just disqualification from the session and not the entire series, as Formosa runs alongside.
It'll be very interesting to see where they come, having that setback in qualification, and see where they end up at the end of the race.
Exactly right. So we'll keep an eye on their progress there as we jump on board with car number 23, Pete, or the Elder as he's affectionately known as. Take the opportunity now to actually shout out one of our key partners and sponsors of Apex Point Racing League, which is Image Digital. They've been supporting Apex Point Racing League for quite a while now, but have come on board as a full-time partner this year. Pete runs a little bit wide there, but we thank Image Digital for their support. They're a clothing and fabric manufacturer based in Melbourne, Victoria, and they've provided a lot of support to Apex Point Racing League in the community. So good to see him juggling the challenges of running a business and also sim racing as well. So if you have the chance and you're in our Discord, make sure you check out our supporters page and check out Image Digital. And Pete's always happy for a chat if Formosa holds on to it there.
Get amongst the Image Digital, mate. Whether for one custom piece or 1,000, Image Digital delivers exceptional quality. Jump on and grab yourself some merch, boys.
And not just any type of material. It's almost like there's nothing off the cards in terms of printing and development there. So it's a good ally to have in this community. So ACC allows me to flick between drivers at random, so I'm just pressing the next driver button to see where we land.
And Atherton's come back on in third, and he's chasing down Funk now. The way he's driving, he's pushing it to the limits to try and catch Funk. Once he catches Funk, I reckon then the battle is on for. Oh! I'm not sure if I saw that right, but it looked like Rowe kind of went a bit sideways, a bit wide on that corner and slowed down.
We'll find out
bit,
here.
So.
We're just watching the delta between the drivers. No, he managed to hold on to the most of the difference there. That corner you can actually take quite wide. So just comparing times here, M. Rowe did a 139 flat, Defunct did a 138.2, and Atherton did a 137.9. So theoretically, these two drivers should be catching up to M. Rowe pretty quickly. I just jump on board here. We got Sideshow or Argoff in car number 308 battling with Tex behind him in the Aston Martin V8. V8 Vantage, yes.
And it's funny what I said at the start, 7, 8, 9 and 10, that mid-pack, all those drivers are still in those positions, not the same positions they started off in qualifying, they've changed, but they're still in that mid-pack or fighting each other. As Tex goes wide a bit there, and Goff takes advantage of that.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. It just looks like Tex has just got a little bit more speed on the straight line than Goff there does, but doesn't seem to be handling it as the corners as well as Goff here.
It's really good to see car 308 Goff mixing it in the different series. Goff runs in our development series over in Gran Turismo, and right now is battling with technically a Pro Series driver in Gran Turismo 7, so just goes to show what the different games are like and how it plays to driver's strengths and stuff like that. So really good to see Goff handing it to Tex and not being afraid of different names here. Oh, they get so close there. good respect and space given between the two of them.
Let's shout out Razmaz as well. Still sitting in 5th position. With that, and racing goes all the way off.
How's your rejoin, sir?
Oh!
Defending that position. Sayers gets up on the
side
inside.
by side, gets the inside corner, and
hey!
It's so slippery coming out of that corner. If you take it too wide into that wet patch, you've got to have total control of that car, otherwise it's just going to go sideways, like as we saw.
Trying to find. It looks like.
And Atherton's taken funk here.
That's right. Yep. Looks like
second place.
Happened. Yep.
So Atherton now is, hunting. He's hunting down the road for that first position.
He does. Atherton does have the fastest lap of the race so far. So I imagine.
Is it me, or does it seem like Funk is slowing down a bit? He doesn't seem to be as fast as, because it looks like Crawley is catching him. If you can check those deltas for us.
I found Razmaz, as he's actually under threat here from your friend from earlier in the McLaren. So
Mr. Bargeboard himself.
Mr. Bargeboard, yep. He's very, very quick, but Raz is very, very wide in that Ferrari. So I imagine it won't be simple for car number 126 to make it through. So we'll just have to wait and see. This could be some really good points on offer there as Raz runs a bit wide.
He's catch some speed. He's right up his bum there with that wide. Took that corner wide.
It's slippery.
Here we go, down the straight. Can he pull up beside him before the corner? And he has the inside. What's Raz going to do here?
Oh, contact!
Oh! Contact, says Raz out.
Probably just anticipating the driver alongside them to turn in at the same time.
He's tried to turn in, and I don't think he's seen the car beside him.
Looks like they both got away with that relatively unscathed, so hopefully that's all okay. We've got a bit of a spin, I think, in turn 1. I think I just saw a car. Maybe not. Sorry for giving everyone a bit of a fit there with all the flicking, but he's now through. So Atherton, let's jump back on board with him as we flick through Morgs, who's still hanging on to the back of Tex and Goff. Tex is now, it still hasn't broken away from Goff there. Oh, the Bentley's in. The
Reedy's gone off, and that's disappointing.
I think he was just in the pits earlier as well. Must have had some damage or a penalty issued. However, speaking with this driver in particular earlier, he did comment on how he was struggling with some of the conditions tonight. And correction, sorry, he was in the pits earlier to clear their mandatory stop, so you can see that on the leaderboard on the left-hand side. Any driver that's met the mandatory pit requirements have a green little tag next to their race number.
Just there, Rowe just did a 138 with Atherton doing a 137, so he just can't get control of that car. There is something definitely wrong, and I wonder if he's going to limp it to the pits.
Knowing Reed, he will be a fierce competitor and will try and hang on for as long as possible. But yeah, it did look a bit unusual that the Bentley, or the Boatley as it was affectionately referred to as by Race for Life, that struggling. Badger reckons it could be cold tyres. Very likely Badge maybe just didn't set the tyre pressures right for the new set that he put on. Again, it isn't mandatory to take tyres or fuel tonight. Funnily enough, Manimal, Slicks is the optimal tyre tonight. Oh, there we go again. So potentially just not getting enough heat into those tyres. And maybe just the new set that he put on was set to dry conditions rather than wet conditions. So
what are we looking at in lap count to get those tyres heated to the optimal temperature?
I think it's more a matter of trying to not let them drop. From what I heard from the drivers is you need to set the tyre temperatures high because of the conditions on the track being wet and damp. They're just going to naturally reduce over the course of the race. So it's not about getting them up to temperature, it's getting enough temperature in them to reduce how quickly they drop. So
and that was a big thing with the drivers, as we talked to them before the race, was trying to keep the temperature in the tyre, and not letting it drop, and they're saying how hard that is to be aware of that and keep that, as we see Tex right up Goff.
Yeah, because Goff must have gotten ahead of him there, so they're playing a bit tit for tat. Maybe Morg's hanging at the back here, can swoop in like the seagull he is and get some free chippies once they, have a go at one another.
Tex looks like he's pulling away a bit there, unless Sideshow can put his foot down. But look, wait.
Maybe just overextending.
It's not as clear cut as we think.
Might just be slightly overextending. We've got some cars off here. Oh, the Funk.
Oh, Funk's off, and
Raz
makes
is that it Raz through?
Maz is in 4th. Maz moves up to 4th. And Funk's gone from 3rd down to 6th.
And Asraf is gone, I think, backwards as well, because he's behind Raz now. Wow, look at all that damage on the Ferrari there. Look at it, back, front, it's all peppered up. So
has he hit a wall? Has he hit a wall, or has he been in an accident with another car?
We'll have to chat to the drivers after and see how they're faring. As Morgs has gotten through on Goff here, so Morgs has finally taken the opportunity to swoop through. And Atherton's actually got the jump on
taken
Rowe.
First.
Yes.
Oh.
He's made up for it, let me tell you. That was a 1:38.0 that lap, whereas Rowe had a 1:41.2, so almost 3.2 seconds quicker. That'll easily get you ahead of him.
He is demon driving at the moment.
With a fastest lap time of 1:37.4.
And like I said, that him coming off, having such a 2-second lead at the start, he's come off and he's just gone. He's come back as a man on the mission, going, I need that position back. And look at that, he's absolutely steamed through the pack to grab first again. And Rowe was quite he was a fair way ahead. So the times that he's putting and the driving he's doing, it needs to be applauded to get first place back.
Absolutely, but we've seen so far that every lap is a different challenge, and another driver could be going off or would be dropping down. Looks like car 126 said he got taken out of the lead there, so potentially something for the stewards to look at. Maybe some aquaplaning being involved there. As Goff gets in front of Morgs again, I don't even know where to look anymore.
It's that mid-pack. It's that mid-pack battle that I highlighted at the start of the game, at the start of the race, that I said was going to be very interesting to watch, and it's still the same. It's still the same mid-pack from the start of the race. The Tex, the Goff, the Morgs, the Tings. That's the pack that is going to be to watch tonight.
Might just flick through all the drivers to give everyone a little bit of love tonight. It's actually Ben Sayers, car number 16, is close behind our friend in the combox here, Ting. So Ting's got a little bit of pressure on him at the moment. We may just leave him to focus on. No, there he is. Just focus on your race, mate. We can catch you in the pit stops at any time or whenever you're ready. No dramas. But yeah, Ben Sayers in the really nice looking Aston Martin there.
It's very sleek.
Black with fluoro green. It's a really nice looking livery. I do like that. Right on his bumper there. Look at that.
And this is what I was explaining at the start. Ting will frustrate people behind him because he makes his car so wide, defending, and he's very, very good at defending positions. And when you talk to racers after any GT7, that's usually what will be said is Ting is just very frustrating to pass because he's so good at defending.
Goff spun.
Goff has spun. There he is. Thank you for the spot there, fellow driver. Looks like turn 2. Just have to be careful getting back on the track on the outside there as 27 Racing comes behind. So that's allowed Ting and Ben Sayers, who are battling each other, to go through. Where has Morgs? Looks like he's in the pits, so Morgs is doing his stop at the moment. The pit window has been open at any time. Looks like Morgs is taking on fuel and tyres here. Hopefully those tyre pressures are bang on. And I think we've actually got our leader in the pit at the moment as well. Pete's in. Oh, sorry, Atherton is still running out there.
Do you think this is a strategy, being that he probably knows that a lot of people are coming in for pits and he wants to try and get as much space as he can? But
yeah,
I think Rowe's strategy might change here, and he'll either go one lap ahead of when Atherton pulls in. Does he go in the pits with Atherton, or does he try and get that as much of the lap in to get in front of him?
I think it's
very interesting to see what happens here.
Yeah, it's a bit different tonight because there's no tyres or no fuels as a mandatory. So if I was a driver starting in the middle of the pack, I would have potentially taken my pit stop straight away just to get me out into some clean air. But potentially drivers like to follow other drivers in front of them that are quicker so that they have like a bit of a target to aim for. So potentially Emro will be hanging on the back here. He hasn't let him get away, which is really good to see. So we'll see how that pans out as we do hit the halfway point of the race. I'll go back through to the drivers. It seems like that halfway point has been a bit of a alarm bell for a few of the drivers. We usually like to pit halfway through the race because it's a nice sort of entry point. So we've got 27 Racing in the pits, Crawley in the pits, Ting is in the pits. We might just chat to Ting here. How are you going, Ting?
Just a stress relief.
It's not actually changing anything. He's just taking some Advil.
Yep.
So Ting has gone
for the heartburn and the sweat.
No
First time I
tyre,
sweated in a
no
race,
fuel.
I can tell you.
No tyre, no fuel for Ting, but maybe a Valium. And now he's back on the track to head out again. Good best lap time there from Ting of a 1:41.7. So good luck for your second stint, mate. We'll check in with you.
Mate.
We've actually got a penalty. Ting!
Stop go.
Ting has got a stop-go penalty.
I missed the entry. I missed the entry and touched it on the right. I thought I did.
And that's that commentator's curse from Snoopy.
No, because it's happening to someone else. We've got D. Crawley as well with a stop-go penalty. It's all happening at the moment. Now this could really shake up the field a fair bit because there's a few drivers that are down the pecking order, and now essentially with those drivers having to do a second pit stop, that's a free position for them. So
we currently got third place just coming out of the pits now as well.
Yep.
Someone's
Rowe's gone
wide.
wide.
Rowe is taking it wide.
Rowe's off. Yep.
Pushing a little bit too hard there. Potentially found himself right in.
That's going to give Atherton a bit of space and time now with Rowe sitting behind the Elder. It's going to be held up a bit from the Elder there, and
if I was Rowe, I would be considering going into the pits here. Just take the opportunity to sort of reset and attack it again with a fresh set of mind. As Pete moves out of the way very respectfully. Yep.
Pete's in front of me.
Yep, that's right. Oh, he's going in very hot there, Rowe. You can see the slippery curve.
Sorry, Pete. Thank you.
Teammates working through there, so Rowe hangs on out there. We got
7th place. Can we just go back to that? They're sitting 7th place with the disqualification in qualifying. It's done very, very good to go up to 7th place.
Now, bear in mind, potentially because a lot of the field have done the pit. Yeah,
I understand that, but to still be in that mid pack, even we'll see the adjustment soon once it all happens. But still, it looks like it's a fairly clean race from them so far.
So we'll keep flicking through. We've got Pete here who's done their pit stop. He's currently sitting in P14. May potentially gain a few positions here with those extra stop goes that will occur in front of him. Atherton still in P1, still yet to serve their pit stop, but has got about a 5-second buffer to Rowe in P2.
Rowe hasn't taken his pit stop either, so
that's correct. Yeah,
he's trying to stay on the same strategy as Atherton here.
Might just hang on with Atherton to see if he comes into the pits this lap, and then try and navigate to our driver in P3 to see how far off they are, because they potentially may have. Oh!
That could have been disaster.
Hold your breath and count your rosary beads. That was a close one. Atherton, unfazed by it, goes around for one more lap. Hasn't lost much time there.
The bum cheeks would have been clenched in that seat of Atherton's.
Mm-hmm.
At that
Absolutely.
moment.
Now, technically, Goff here is sitting in P3, as we see Crawley, car number 91, clearing their stop-go penalty, and Ting in there as well to clear his stop-go penalty. But so Goff on track is currently P3, however, still yet to serve their pit stop. So that should actually put Defunk and then Tex into P4 and 5 provisionally. So Tex could be on for a podium. He will be one step away at P4 once all of the pit stops come through. So we'll try and check in. We've caught up with Sayers earlier. 27 Racing still running through in the Porsche 911. Amazing sounding car in this game as well as in real life. Just really loud screaming. This could be a potentially interesting rejoin to the race from the two cars coming out of the pits. M-Row has served his penalty but has got a stop go. Served his pit stop, not his penalty. He got a penalty in his pit stop is what I meant to say.
Now does that provisionally, would you say, unless something absolutely drastic happens to Atherton, that's pretty much Nelly in this race possibly?
Well, what that means is anyone in P3 back, so looking
has
at
the chance to take it.
Yeah, correct. So we were talking about Tex earlier sitting in P4. Well, Defunk here is technically on track in P4. He should inherit, or was due to inherit P3. Now potentially may get P2 as a result of M-Row getting a stop-go penalty. And Ting, correct me if I'm wrong. You got another one. Okay, I'm sorry, mate. I thought you were in the pits, and I'm like, that should be gone. So unless there's a survey error,
I was doing the same thing. I'm thinking,
maybe you should mute up and concentrate.
That's all right.
Is it because you crossed the entry line slightly over speed? Like, what did you feel like happened that time?
I thought I was under, and I thought I was on the line, and I just hit the accelerator again.
Yeah.
But no, it was all over, and my tyres are getting colder and colder, and now they're going to get colder again.
I would be hanging out for the 3 laps and flicking around with your MFD and bumping up the tyres.
The front of Funk's car does not look healthy, does it?
No, but it doesn't matter because people in front of him have stop goes, so as long as he keeps 4 wheels on the track, he should be alright. This is for position actually here. We've got Raz and Sayers very close to one another.
They've been battling it out for the last couple of laps, to be honest. I've been watching that in the background.
Ooh, gets a bit tight there, a bit narrow.
These guys have been battling for the Ooh, looks like Sayers had a bit of a slow one around that corner and has let Maz streak a bit ahead there.
Plenty of time for things to change. It seems like there's penalties coming thick and fast. A couple of drivers still yet to do their stops. Even if drivers finish the race without doing their stop, that's an even worse penalty than a stop go.
Are you kidding?
Oh.
It's saying I've got another one. Where was I speeding?
I didn't see it pop up again. No. Well, we're on stream, sir. So inside voices here. Sayers! Oh, get so nervous. Okay.
Well, it looks like he's been in a bit of a ting there with the front.
I like what you did there.
How much does that affect the car's aerodynamics in this? Would that be something that would put a bit of drag on the car?
A lot. Yeah, it would.
Lot?
It would. So the damage affects the aero on the car, its overall performance. These cars are very sensitive to aero, just like they would be in real life. So having that sort of damage there can cause a bit of trouble on the front end, especially on conditions like this where it is very wet as he sort of runs it out wide there. But you'll see that when you actually do your pit stop in ACC, it's always a standard 30 seconds if you're taking fuel and tyres. If you have any damage, sort of any time on top of that is the time to repair the damage. So you would probably be looking at maybe 35 seconds total, so 5 seconds worth of damage, which isn't too bad. But since they've already done their stop, I wouldn't be considering going back in unless it's super detrimental to their pace.
944 stop go penalty, 30 seconds for speeding in pit lane.
So that's Ting. That means he's got one more lap to serve, one more lap left to serve the penalty. Otherwise, they will be disqualified. Jumping on board with car number 40. Looks like Reed has just parked it and called it a day very sensibly. Tex is here in P4. So he's actually right behind car number 126 here, keeping the pressure on.
Asaraf.
Yep, Asaraf, who's had a couple of offs, a couple of incidences, so definitely may not be in the right frame of mind, and Tex has just been focused on the task at hand, so could benefit here if he just keeps nice and close.
Do we know yet if Atherton has come in for his pit stop yet, or is he still out there?
We'll find out. We jump through the drivers slowly as to not jar any of the viewers here.
Rowe back in 5th place.
Yep. So Formosa, car number 79 here, still yet to serve their stop. Atherton has done his stop, so he has done his stop and is a good it looks like about 48 seconds ahead of Defunk, if I jump to him. So, yeah, he's in smooth sailing at the moment.
He just needs to settle down and concentrate now and not let... oh, who's gone off? So that looks like
Formosa.
just gone wide, yeah.
So this is
And
for on-track
Sayers
position.
has completely dropped off Maz here.
Mm-hmm.
And look, Maz is going to look like he's going to try and take advantage of that Formosa going wide there with a bit more speed.
Yeah, in this sort of situation, you know the driver in front of you needs to pit, but because the pit window's open the entire race, you just never know when they will go in and get out of your way. So technically, even though you're behind them right now, you will be ahead of them when it comes to the final standings, but you don't want to stay stuck behind a slower driver if you can get in front of them.
Is it that mindset that you know they need to... Whoa!
How's your rejoin? Raz stays very wide there, very respectfully.
He takes advantage of it.
So Womble, the livery process on console, ACC in particular, is a bit challenging. You get access to the set liveries as part of the GT.
Oh, Formosa's gone completely off there again.
Oh, I think he's hung on. Yeah, there he is.
He's hung on, yeah.
You can access any of those set liveries. They're preset. And unfortunately you can't create custom liveries on console. On PC you can though. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. Goff. I just saw it pop up on the screen. In the same spot again, it looks like. Just having a bit of an off there.
Just as you went through, I did see somebody else leave the track as well, so I wasn't sure who that was when you were going through there.
Now here's a lesson of how consistency can pay off. So we've got Pete here in P13. I believe started towards the back here, but has just kept his nose clean, kept racing, no penalties, no stop goes or anything like that. Has sort of just stayed to the course and kept on marching on. So shout out to him for carrying on there. So we're on board with Formosa, who's just behind Ting here. So we sit right on board with the blue.
Well, this is with Ting sitting in 13th place between Maz and Formosa. He's going to give Maz a bit of space from Formosa, or he's going to frustrate Raz here and behind him as Ting goes actual. There you go. There's your answer. Ting goes into the pits.
So the stop go penalty. Very cautiously heading towards the pit line this time, respectfully.
This is my fourth, mate. This is my fourth.
Yep.
I don't know what's going on. I haven't done anything. I've done this. Anyway. Righto.
Hopefully it'll work out well this time. Still got a couple of drivers. Formosa still needs to pit. Pete's heading around nicely as well, so still carrying on. Atherton in P1. Heading out the front in the Nissan GTR. Goff having a few spins, but hanging on for the fight. One driver we haven't checked in for a little bit has actually been Morgs. I'm interested to see what position he's sitting in. Looks like he's P7 at the moment.
Still sitting in that mid pack at 7.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. What's going on with this? This is not clearing. Why isn't it clearing?
You know what's interesting. I swear that should have been served earlier as well. And I don't think he did anything wrong there, so if I were you, I'd just carry on. I'm not too sure exactly. It's not coming up in the race control.
I've been in 4 times.
Yeah. It's not coming up in the race control as like car 944.
Well, it's beside my name on the
you
lap
stopped in the
times.
box. You stopped in the box, and did they
Yeah, I
pick you up
stopped
your
earlier.
car?
Yeah, I stopped earlier.
Okay. Interesting. I'm not too sure what's happening there. May just need to save the replay and have a look at that afterwards. As we try and navigate through to Morgs, who I was trying to find earlier. So Raz and P5 doing a really nice job there.
His last lap was 142. It looks like everyone around there sitting. And a 141, 960 for Morgs in last lap.
So Morgs is powering one through here in P7, and he's right on Formosa again. This technically will be for P6, but Formosa still needs to stop. Ting, I'm not sure if this helps, but a few guys in the... Oh, never mind. I think we'll maybe reconvene on that point. There's obviously something going on there.
Atherton looks like he's going through the pack again to overlap them.
Yeah, this will be interesting because Formosa still needs to stop, so technically Morgs should be provisionally in front of them. Judging by Atherton, he'll just need to navigate this carefully, and hopefully they both follow the briefing and stay wide. Morgs does an excellent job there. Loses very little time, lets Atherton through. Now we'll just have to see how Formosa responds to this situation, and this could be a potential opportunity for Morgs to get through Formosa very quickly. So we're just riding on board here with Morgs. Formosa runs wide. If I was Morgs, I'd be heading up the inside here. Oh, there's a bit of miscommunication. I think everyone's just going a little bit extra cautiously there than they need to.
I think that was. That could have been a lot worse.
This could potentially end in heartache. Very nicely done, Morgs. Nicely navigated, so now he's in clear area, cleared the driver that needs to...
Ching has been disqualified.
Yeah, we saw that come through earlier. Oh, Morgs! Oh no, what have I done?
Commentator's curse.
No!
The Snoopy curse hits again.
Oh dear, maybe if we look away at Morgs, he'll be okay. So now we've got Asaraf in P3, sort of in their own little world at the moment. Got a huge gap to car 707. A couple of people were commenting on the live stream just then that potentially what may have happened with that disqualification was a driver heads into the pits, stops in their box, but you need to actually cut the engine off to serve the 30-second stop-go penalty. Usually you can have that set automatically in the game. Some people like to set it manually just to save a little bit of time. So potentially just maybe there was a miscommunication there in terms of switching off the engine.
Somebody's gone off up there at the top. I'm not sure who that is, but just shout out to Elder, now in 12th position.
Yep, hanging on there.
Moved up. And it looked like Morgs was the one that went off up in the up that turn. And he's let Sayers come right behind him.
So I would love to ride on the onboard camera, but it's just way too loud, so we'll just focus on this from a far view. Sayers runs a bit wide there, probably excited at the opportunity of getting past another driver. Yeah, for Morgs it would just be damage control right now. So technically still, he hasn't really lost the position by going off and letting...
Oh, and Sayers wide's too wide there, and he's lost time on Morgs there.
Oh, that
Goff looks like
tricky.
Goff the same on that corner, kind of regains it, but looked like he was about to go sideways.
Seems to be a
This
challenge.
has been a pretty consistent race for car 227.
Yep, 27 racing, that's him.
Very consistent.
Doing a nice job running their own race, just making sure they're keeping it pointed in the right direction. As he actually goes past someone here, looks like Pete has probably just yielded off the track to let a lap car through. Defunk sitting in P2, I think he will be exceptionally happy with this result, all things considered, in terms of being spun around and that Ferrari not looking as beautiful as it probably should. So I'd be very happy with where he's sitting at the moment. Would be happier if P1 has an off, but we'll see how we go. Razmaz sitting in P5, I mean, he would be stoked to finish in this position. I think that would be top-notch result for him. And he's only 7 seconds behind Tex, so anything could happen. Just need one driver to go off and potentially, you know, lose a bit of time, and then you're right back on him. Crawley sitting in P11, just trying to nurse that BMW home, hey, with all that damage.
There'll be plenty of duct tape on that later on tonight.
Absolutely, I think the guys will be working on that for a little while, and Badger just called out that Raz is technically first in his class at the moment. That is correct.
Yeah, congratulations.
Raptor's just called it a day earlier in the piece here. Tex is hanging on in P4. Good 20 seconds adrift of the podium spot, but again, anything could happen.
I mean, Tex, the way he's been driving, we had in those first couple of laps where he was a bit iffy with the touch and go on other cars and the way he was driving, but he's had a solid drive here. I think he qualified, I'm not sure, about 7th or 8th, and to put a solid drive in here and not get too much damage to that car and keep the car straight, to be honest, and have a bit of luck on his side as well. Staying fourth is a really good drive.
And Formosa has actually gone into the pits to serve their mandatory penalty. So it'll be interesting to see how the field evens out as a result of this. Hopefully he doesn't get a penalty as well. But yeah, we caught up with Tex. Morg's running in P6. Going to have to keep fighting all the way to the very end to keep Ben Sayers behind him. And Goff is not too far behind him either. So Morgs has got one more lap after this to go, I would imagine.
Do we still have anybody? Formosa still hasn't made his pit.
No, he has. He just did it then. Oh, actually, he didn't clear it. That's interesting, because I swear he did just go into the pits. So maybe timing systems hasn't been updated there. As we get the heads up that the leader is on the final lap of the race here. So we've got Sam Atherton in P1, car number 21 in the GTR, who started at the front, had a bit of an incident, got sent pretty much to the mid-pack in about 10th or so, but then in the space of, I think it was 1 or 2 laps, with other drivers having offs and running wide and stuff like that, was right back into P4 fighting for the position. So it's
been an unreal drive by Atherton tonight. It's to get back to first and finish as strongly as he is. It's been one hell of a drive.
Absolutely right there. Unfortunately, ACC doesn't allow me to tick through an order, but then obviously we got Defunk, who's coming through to complete their last lap here.
And with the damage to that car, it's just amazing that he's in second and kept it consistent from that earlier thing that did do the damage to the car to keep that to keep it straight and come in second. He's been an awesome drive as well.
Absolutely right. Might just jump back on board with Sam here as he's coming into the final sector and the last hairpin after that long and fast straight there. Just 2 more corners to go, a fast left-handed followed by a very tricky sort of off-camber left-hander, which has caught a few of the drivers out. Holds it on tightly, sees the checkered flag there. Sam coming across the line, naturally right up against the pit wall to celebrate.
Congratulations.
And completes the race P1. Well done, mate. Very, very well done. Good result and good recovery drive there. Try and find Defunk as he was earlier. So we know that Defunk will be finishing in P2. I think these will finish either a lap down, these two. Yep, nice and close there. So Goff in P8, Ben Sayers in P7. Morgs holds on to P6 there.
Raz just finishes its 5th, which is give a bit of a clap to that as well in his class.
Yep, and Raz has actually pulled down the gap massively to Tex here. Tex was 7 seconds ahead, now he's only 1.5 seconds, 1.2 now.
This still has a page left to right.
They are still technically racing at the moment, so we may just hang on to this, but congratulations to Defunct for finishing in P2, and Asafraf for coming across shortly in P3. I wonder if Raz has a little bit of razzle-dazzle to claim P4 here. Or just a mistake from Tex could open the door for him, so we'll just have to see what happens here. Could be feeling the pressure a bit. Get right on from the perspective of Raz just to see what's going on. Oh, Tex has got a bit squirrely!
Here we go!
There's blood in the water. Oh, Tex does a wonderful job of keeping his composure through the final turn there.
Great finish.
Very nicely done, gentlemen. Very nicely done. So they all pull over to end their race there. So what we can actually do is return to the garage, head to the timetables and check out the final results here. So Rooted, I'll leave that to you to run through.
Yeah, so in first position, and congratulations to Atherton on an amazing race. Second, we have D Funk in the Ferrari. Third, the Asaraf McLaren. Fourth, Tex. In fifth, Raz in the Ferrari. Sixth, Morgs McLaren. Sayers in the AMR V8 Vantage. Look, the Vantage is coming together with Goff in eighth. Ninth with T Racing in the Porsche. 10th is Crawley in the BMW M4. Formosa coming from being disqualified in the qualification, coming 11th. The Elder, or Pete, in 12th. M. Rowe from being in second place, first place to second.
Oh wow, yes.
Finishing in 13th. That's a bit, and going 9 laps down. M. Reed in 14th in the Bentley. Ting with a disqualification in 15th, and Snoopy, who didn't race at all.
Is in the comms box, yes. We may have missed that from Emro, because it looks like he would have pulled over or finished a lot earlier, 9 laps down against the rest of the competition, so apologies to the viewers for missing that one there. But yes, in terms of the races, the results, obviously provisional results pending any steward inquiries and things like that. But yeah, definitely a entertaining and engaging race based on the conditions. I don't think we weren't expecting anything less.
It does look like Formosa did end up with a penalty for not making a pit stop there, so that will change the end result there for the.
Yeah, it looks like, according to some of our viewers, they may not have stopped entirely for the pit stop, so that's why it was still showing up as not completed its mandatory stop, hence why the penalty has been applied there of 130 seconds. So potentially something for the stewards to look at and adjust the timing board as a result. So yeah, we'll just have to see. Again, these results are provisional, but massive shout out to all the drivers putting on the show for us tonight. Thank you to everyone that's joined in on the live stream and commented. We really do appreciate your company. Make sure you leave your like on the way out and subscribe if you haven't done so already. A lot of familiar faces and people that we see quite regularly over in our Discord server, so jump into our Discord if you're interested. And our next stream is actually going to be this Sunday night, where we will be watching the delayed replay of the Sprint Series over in Gran Turismo with the Civic touring car, so that'll be a fun little race to commentate on. So we will catch you guys all then, and from myself, Snoopy, Rooted, let's say thank you for joining tonight. Have a good evening, everyone, and we'll catch you in the next one.
See you guys. Stay fast.